I will be leaving Kobo soon.
Where are you going?
My owners have relatives on Onderon. I will seek them out. But no matter what, I am committed to learning some more practical skills.
Practical skills?
Medicine, surgery, healing. What happened in those caverns was terrible. And I was powerless to help. I will learn to prevent that, Cal.
It's hard to stop suffering in this galaxy, but always worth the effort.
Hey, I got a lot of courage. Remember that time I fixed your roof in the rain?
That's because you broke that roof. Meanwhile,
New seeds, magnificent! After you've planted one, I'll share what I know. Wonderful. New seeds. Plant one. I'll share its details. Ah, I was hoping you'd find seeds like that. Put one in the ground. I'll share what I've learned. I see you found new seeds. Plant one, and I'll tell you all about it. A Kobo Spiker. The name says it all. Protection from predators and quite effective. The flower is most intricate and beautiful, but its spines are so sharp that it is best observed from afar.
How did you and Marin meet?
I visited her home planet when I was looking for something.
She likes you.
She didn't at first.
I think people are scared of her.
Are you?
No, I like her. Grease is going to teach me how to cook.
I hope you're a better chef than I am.
Why? Aren't you good?
I never put the time into it.
Your parents didn't teach you?
I didn't know them very well.
Oh. I think I understand.
Just you wait for that golden light moss to grow. Observe the roots that rise up underneath, helping the flowers to reach nearby light sources. A pine fern! Delightful! Its foliage shifts colors with the temperament. Quite dazzling. I wonder what color it will display on Kobo. We can talk later. You've introduced a new species. After you plant it, I'll provide more details. Wonderful. New seeds. Plant one. I'll share its details.
Keely? How old are you?
Why do you ask?
Because you know a lot of stuff. And I don't.
You will learn. Do you know how trees grow?
How?
One ring at a time, Kata. One ring at a time.
Might as well plant some of these seeds.
This place is real different from where I used to live.
How so?
It's a lot more colorful. And the air smells nice.
All gifts from the plants, which we must preserve and cultivate together, yes?
Sure, Peely. Just let me know what I can do to help.
Let's switch it up, Edie.
Where are you from, Gata?
Irin.
Did you care for any plants back home?
My mama did. She had this one plant. She'd water it every day.
Did she talk to it?
Yeah. How did you know?
Just a feeling.
Plants are so pretty.
Yes, they are.
I used to look at hollow images when Papa was away.
And where is he now?
He passed. He's gone.
Not gone, Gata. When we die, we return to help new plants grow. You've introduced a new species. After you plant it, I'll provide more detail.
We'll have to find another way around. You know your way around Kobo, don't you?
Now!
Check it out, BD. Check it out, BD. What'd you find, buddy? Look at this.
Once we're out of here, first thing is paying a visit to Domodendra. You hear that? Oh no!
Run!
Good job, BD.
have a spot at the bar.
I saw your things in the back room.
You'll have to forgive the more tasteless ornaments. Some of it used to belong to Dreo, my old partner. Ghastly sense of style.
Another outlaw?
Not when I met him. He was running a perfectly legitimate port in Rhodia. Allowed me to use his docks for my shipments. No questions asked, supposedly. But we got to talking anyways.
Sounds like a nice guy.
He was the genuine article, all right. Probably why things didn't work out between us.
So you've been out of the game completely since the Empire cracked down?
More or less. Not that I didn't go down swinging. When the company went belly up, I insisted I could turn things around. But Dreo, my partner, we wanted to leave together.
So what happened?
Well, he left, all right. But in my infinite wisdom, I decided to stick it out. Try to turn the cards in my favor. I got greedy. I can't tell you how badly I wish I'd gone with him. Instead, I chose what you might call the scenic route to rock bottom. That brings us to this rue-riddled cantina years later.
At least he got out eventually.
Will you take some advice? Yeah.
Sure.
It's not just about getting out. It's about getting out before you lose everything. Talk later, hmm?
Hey, Toa, you mentioned things were changing at the Academy before you left.
It started when the Empire began dumping credits into our projects. Unlimited budget to fund our research. Great, right?
But there were strings attached.
Yes. We came under constant pressure from Imperial censors to conform to their propaganda. Anyone who did not play along was pushed out in favor of stooges whose work would never stand up under peer review.
No Moff or Governor wants to publish views that question Imperial dominance.
I mean, I understand. The censors have their own careers to think of.
It's okay, Toa. You don't have to defend a corrupt system.
No, I guess not.
So how'd you go from making sounds on Ryosa to becoming a producer?
Well, I put together a few rough tracks, handed them out to friends, and things spread word of mouth. Started playing enough gigs to do it full time. Eventually, someone with influence caught a listen as they were passing through. They'd worked with Max Rebo, so I figured they were legit.
Max Rebo? That is legit.
Exactly. Said they could give me some gigs in the court. When they said core, I heard like Chandrila. Nah, they meant Coruscant. So that's where I went. Feeling this set list is pretty near full.
What do I want to hear? You ever get homesick, Tulok?
From time to time, there are quite a few things I miss.
Like what?
The many rivers, Belati trout leaping over the current, and the food that I crave.
Oh, yeah?
Handmade dumplings stuffed with potato and kushnip. I miss the taste of banson, a minty spice that enlivens every taste bud.
You should talk to Grease. Maybe you can whip something up that reminds you of home.
A wise suggestion, Sojourner.
There's Mr. Popular. A bounty hunting droid named Rez is stomping around the forest array. Don't bother squaring up. Stay light on your feet, you'll dance around that rust bucket.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm okay. You?
Guess I'm fine too.
It's all right if you're not.
Hey, don't get mushy on me. Do I miss Grok? Well, sure I do. I mean, you know what hurts the worst? The old man was strong, sharp, grumpy enough to curdle clear water, too. Beneath all of that, he actually believed that a couple of nobodies like us could strike it rich. Too many skeptics and cynics out there, Cal. You find a believer, you hold on tight.
I hear you.
Come back later, yeah?
Garakos.
They fight to the bitter end, don't they? Especially when they're injured.
Yeah, they do.
A lot of beasts are like that. I learned the hard way on a family outing once. My first time leading. Tracked a Kivaroa back to its nest. It was killing livestock. No other choice but to put it down. Played the approach perfectly. Found an opening. But my family was watching, so I decided to get a little bit fancy. Lost my concentration. One of its legs slams down, inches away from cracking my spine. Mama pushed it aside in the nick of time. And finished that Kivaroa no frills.
That's a close call.
Yep. Hey, you corner something, it'll do what it needs to survive. Even when you have the upper hand, never underestimate your prey.
Cal, the Empire set its sights on Kobo, and everyone's jumping planet. Now, it's not my nature to stick my nose in other people's business. But are you leaving too?
For now, you gonna be all right?
Better than all right. I've got a plan. This might surprise you, but I've been pushed around my whole life. No one ever took me seriously, and I can use that to my advantage. And just when the Empire lets its guard down, that's when I strike.
We've all gotta fight the Empire however we can.
That's right. I'm a Kobo local and proud of it. This is my home, and I'm gonna defend it. I'm really busy, Cal. Maybe later.
Be seeing you.
Breeze, you should know. When my old crew worked from the Mantis, we made a few changes.
Oh, you mean how the left side of the cabin couch completely has lost its bounce? Yeah, I noticed. Come on, the seat's got no give. Cushion just limps there, like a dead necko.
And that's from Liz. To psych herself up for a mission, she'd bounce on the couch as hard as she could. Now every time I sit on that broken cushion, it feels like Liz is still there.
Well, I was planning to replace those cushions, but maybe that can wait. Go do what you gotta do.
Start running. Can't feel it. Can't stop.
Holopuck. Let's get this to Cage. One-way door. I bet Z can get the data off this disk. sure Z can decrypt this for us. I need to clear my mind.
to see you.
The Finnow brothers and their pet murder droid Cleo were last seen heading to the Nova Garen system. Those brothers are tough customers. Focus on taking one down so the numbers don't overwhelm you.
We've faced worse odds.
Now that's what I like to hear, killer.
Cal, I've seen so many stormtroopers in the valley lately. I fear the Empire is taking control of Kobo.
Yeah, I think you're right.
You know, not long ago, I would have argued the Republic was just as flawed as the Empire in its own way. But the Empire is not the Republic. And they are not just a nuisance. They're tyrants and murderers. I'm starting to think we did not win the Clone Wars.
Just stay safe, Toa.
You too.
So how'd you like playing on Coruscant?
At first, I loved it. The Undercity's this melting pot of all these different struggles. A real vivid place, you know? After a few months of small gigs, though, I got bumped up to the popular clubs. It didn't take long for me to start hating it.
Not your scene.
It wasn't a conversation, you know? Those crowds just wanted to be able to say they'd seen the next big thing.
Sounds like you were really on the rise.
Well, my agents were ambitious. Scored me a deal that could have had me on billboards all over the Corps. But I said no.
That takes guts.
Well, so does slicing up raiders. But you gotta do what you gotta do, right? Keep on doing your thing.
Do you ever miss the glory days, Cal? The cut and thrust, the rough and tumble.
It sounds like every day. Not that it's glorious.
Well, I certainly had some glorious years. I'm sure I never told you about the incident over at Munilinst.
Don't think you did.
I was personally escorting a shipment of, let's call it a sensitive luxury product. Unfortunately, we were accosted by a customs longship. The fence had failed to update our transponder codes and our vessel was marked. Well, push comes to shove, and we were boarded. I've got 3 customs officers waving blasters under my nose, so what do? I throw on the waterworks. Oh, Cal, you cannot imagine. I'm swearing up and down about everything from past marriages to lower back pain. Almost worked, too. But one pesky officer decided to kick open a shipping container full of slightly incriminating powder.
Guess the jig was up.
Cal, you're looking at a professional. I told them that they were looking at the ashes of 1,000 ritually cremated Sereno war heroes. And by the stars, they bought it. The inspectors actually bought it. That, Cal, is why I'm here instead of rotting in a Munilinst work camp. Another time.
How's everyone holding up?
Not too good with the Empire all over, but what's the sense in getting worked up over something you can't control?
My master always said, the foolish one lies awake worrying about what he cannot change. The wise one sleeps.
Sage advice.
I've always had trouble sleeping.
Well, don't lose any sleep over us. We can manage on our own. After all, this isn't the first time Kobo's faced a disaster, and probably not the last. Busy keeping these customers in fine fettle, Cal.
So you're a fortune teller?
Not exactly, though prospectors do ask me to read the planet's fortune from time to time.
They want you to tell them where to mine, right?
Exactly. But my gift is not so precise as to provide specific locations. What I see, I share. It is up to them to interpret my visions as they see fit. I must be alone now.
Cal, you been holding out on me?
It depends. What are we talking about?
I heard there's a whole shipload of High Republic knickknacks just sitting around in those spires. You wouldn't believe the kind of credit some of these elite types will pay for that crap.
Terrain's pretty rough. Not ideal looting conditions.
Yeah, Toa was telling me all about it. Of course, she wanted to put him behind glass.
You don't trust her with them?
Don't be naive, buddy. It ain't doing anybody any good in the hands of some historian. Follow the credits. That's what I do. Talk later, buddy.
It is. What'll happen to the path now?
It will continue.
We gotta help them. For Seer.
I know.
I miss her. Seer sure could bring out the best of people.
She taught me so much.
Time to land. Get up here. You know, I don't think you did all that bad a job looking after the Manus.
You mean that?
Apart from flying her into a Coruscant dogfight and past half the Imperial fleet. Oh, and then crashing her into an Outer Rim rock. You did okay.
You're never gonna let me forget that, are you?
Not in 1,000 Latero sunsets. No, not in 2,000. Give me a minute. I'm planning a new holotactic setup.
BD, are you doing okay? I am sorry for your loss. Master Cordova was a good man. It is cold out there. It is always cold out there.
Oh, coming back here doesn't feel right.
There is nothing right about what happened here. But we cannot be frightened away from every planet the Empire terrorizes, no matter how painful the memories.
You're probably right, but it still feels wrong.
With what? And why are you...
With Tata on board. Coming here to where, well, you know... Never heard of a place like this.
You are a very kind person.
Brothers, sisters, we have a most honored guest. The wise one who instructed Master Junda. Come, Master Cordova. You must be wary from your travels. I will show you the way.
If you're doing this, you do it now. No hesitation.
This is a secure channel. How did you...
Listen to me. I'm an Imperial agent who has located a terrorist cell on Jeddah. Don't trust your scanners. Just follow this locator beacon's coordinates. There are multiple Jedi at this location. Inform the Inquisitorius at once. If Lord Vader wants Seer Junda, he better hurry.
This terminal will have to wait. Look at this. Wonder how long this has been here. I'm glad we found this. Breathe. Off we go. Interesting.
proceed.
This way, Master Junda. We are nearly there. So, what do you think?
It's old, abandoned, and in the middle of nowhere. It's perfect.
How is the charm I gave you?
Well, it saved my life a couple times.
As intended.
Watch your step, lad.
Have we walked in on another dangerous expedition?
Well, the feral sneakfish prefers the taste of crab, but would happily settle for your toe.
Are you sure all this is worth the risk?
There's great beauty in peril, lad. And these noble beasts demand respect, you know. As you'll see.
So much for a noble beast demanding great respect.
Yeah, you're right. I'll deal with you later. Shall we continue me sordid tale? So, you wish to prick up your ears and receive the tale of Scuba?
If you're sharing stories, we'll listen.
Then you be a fool, my lad. A sordid tale will bring you nothing but grief and woe.
Okay, well, if you're not sharing stories, we'll...
Oh, fine, I'll tell you. At your own insistence, and at your own peril. My story begins in a small village on the frozen banks of Sakavi Tar, my home world. Nights black as quillfish in it. Winters so cold, a stern look could turn you to glass.
Doesn't sound like the easiest place to grow up.
Difficult, aye. From the moment your mother's milk froze on your tongue to the moment you foundered upon frozen streets. You see, the fishes, they had the right of it. They dwelt far below the ice, where warm currents danced like ribbons in the wind. To fish so scarce a quarry, on account of the great fish famine, well, it's near a mild undertaking. But for all the belly-aching now, there's a peaceful enough life for a wee Sakavian with an instinct for the rod.
So you discovered your talent early.
Such a talent was I, that as a lad, nae hardly sporting my first prickly chin hair, I was given an audience with Undone. But that be a tale for another time. Where were we? Ah, yes. By virtue of my prodigious fishing talents, I was taken to see the mysterious one they call Undone. I can see it still. Wee Scuba, ushered into yon black-mouthed cave. I could barely make out the figure, glinting with moonlight. I scrubbed my eyes, like a old tar scrubbing the deck. And there she was, a vast creature. Great tentacles blooming from her blubber, like cables gorging on a fuel tank. One of the tentacles twitched into the air, just over my head, and then, wham! Right on the noggin, so I'm told. I staggered out the cave like a lover first acquainted with a deck. But something else happened. I think when that fell tentacle struck me, Undone took something straight out of my brain and put something else in.
She put something in your brain?
Aye, boy. The subtle art of catching a fish. The art of focus. And in the dark, with nothing but the bristles on your chin for company, that focus is special. From that day forward, when I plunged my line into the frigid waters, it would emerge with a fish. 3 times out of 7.
That's less than half.
My village told me that I'd be the one to save them from the great fish famine. Little did I know that the grapnel was soon to arrive on our shores.
Gonna assume that's a bad thing.
Perhaps, lad. And perhaps not. But that'll be a story for another time. The tale continues. When we last spoke, I warned of the grapnel's arrival. That great ship came descending on us like an anchor cutting the deep. Ne'er a more fearsome ship did you clap by on. She was sharp, like a fish, like the nose of a bony fish. She had 3 great claws. Aye, the landing gear. But when her great jaws parted, aye, the loading ramp. Will you hush and let Scuba tell the story? Her great jaws parted, disgorging her dread crew. A more vile pack of fisher folk you never did see. And led by the vilest of them all, Captain Wet, the bearded bezel-less bat that he intended to fish in our waters. Trophy hunters they were, in search of the most rare catches. Well, we Sikavians refused. We had the great famine to contend with, see? Every fish was precious. But the ferocious captain didn't care for our troubles. With a belch, he produced from his creel a mighty harpoon. Wait, cried wee Scuba, hopping off of his rock. I know these waters like the taste of my own tongue. There'll be few fish beneath yon ice. But, continued I, if you take me with you, and if you leave my village be, I could show you how to coax the rarest of fishes onto your line. Aye. The dread captain stroked his briny beard. After a long moment, he held out his hand and grinned most terribly. Lad, said he, you be in luck. I'll be requiring another for my crew, one who knows the curve of the sea. Oh, Cal, if I could only go back to that moment when I shook Captain Wet's rigid hand. If only I'd never stepped off my wee rock. But my encounter with Undan had given me a taste for the unknown. I couldn't resist the call of adventure, and I had to save my people. So, I left with the grapnel, thinking the business done. I would be a fisher for Captain Wet. Of course, my adventure had only begun. For just when the grapnel hit orbit...
More trouble, I take it?
But I've havered on long enough. Come back another time and I'll tell you more.
What do you think will happen to Seer's hideout?
In time, the archive will be reclaimed by the sands.
So, you wish to hear of a time on the grapnel with the crew of the dread Captain Wet?
Let's hear it.
Aye. My tenure began with quite a bump. The moment the grapnel hit orbit, her claxons began to sing. A barrack ship full of lawful types swam out to the stars and hailed us. What be the meaning of this? Growled our captain. We're simple fisher folk. Your transponder codes tell a different tale, came the reply. You be standing on stolen property, you do. Ah, you've rightful caught us, said the captain. Come on aboard, and I'll surrender what was stolen. But scarcely had the lubbers set boot on the deck of the grapnel, when wham! The captain's harpoon skewered them like a quailfish on a spit. "Now you can't do that when you're running line, can you?" said the captain to me, grinning in his foulsome way. I'm sorry to say that I picked up the harpoon that black day. For years, I did not toss a fish back into the sea when I caught her. Well, that is until... blubbered you to death. I'll continue my tale soon, lad. Aye, so we returned to my time on the grapnel. Against the protestations of my heart, I forsook the rod and line for the harpoon. For years, we trawled the outer rim, spearing every fish that happened across our path. Talented as I was, I speared more fish than the rest of the crew. Put together, fool as I was, I didn't have the wisdom to be ashamed. the dread Captain Wanyak Wet took notice. He showered me in brevets, gave me the best of catches, and scarcely a year after I left Sakavitar, I became his first mate. Shortly after my promotion, we were on our way to Manan to sell the carcass of a gooberfish. But, wham! Just as we dove out of hyperspace and the great ocean world streaked into view, so did she. The most glorious creature I'd ever beheld. A whale of marvelous proportion. Swimming through Manan's orbit like it was nothing but an easterly current back home. I was transfixed.
No kidding. How close did you get?
Funny you should ask. I didn't have long to set my eyes abulge before he crashed headlong into her. The grapnel bounced off her like chum off flotsam. We plummeted down to the ocean, sundering the grapnel on the sea floor, where a gang of pirate quarren were holed up. The filthy Zephyrs. We swam out to the ribbon hull.
Pardon.
Do you think the outpost on Kobo will survive?
People there are resilient. And Doma Dendra won't give up.
Aye, so we returned to my time on the grapnel. Against the protestations of my heart, I forsook the rod and line for the harpoon. For years, we trawled the outer rim, spearing every fish that happened across our path. Talented as I was, I speared more fish than the rest of the crew, put together. Fool as I was, I didn't have the wisdom to be ashamed. The dread Captain Wanyak Wet took notice. He showered me in brevets, gave me the best of catches, and scarcely a year after I left Sakavitar, I became his first mate. Shortly after my promotion, we were on our way to Manan to sell the carcass of a gooberfish. But, wham! Just as we dove out of hyperspace and the great ocean world streaked into view, so did she. The most glorious creature I'd ever beheld. A whale of marvelous proportion. Swimming through Manan's orbit like it was nothing but an easterly current back home. I was transfixed.
No kidding. How close did you get?
Funny you should ask. I didn't have long to set my eyes abulge before he crashed headlong into her. The grapnel bounced off her like chum off flotsam. We plummeted down to the ocean, sundering the grapnel on the sea floor, where a gang of pirate quarren were holed up. The filthy Zephyrs. We swam out to the ribbon hull and found ourselves surrounded by quarren, demanded all manner of things, including our bounty of fish. So, away we swam, Captain Wet, the crew, and myself. But, blind as we were at such depth, we shortly ran into a dead end, finding ourselves surrounded by quarren. Find me again, and I'll continue the tale.
So Scuba, whatever happened with the pirates?
So there we were, 4 quarren, armed with spears, each way a mind to make a mantelpiece of my wee rubbery head. I looked over to me captain, and he stared right back, waving his arms like a gooberfish in heat, at the harpoon I held in my hand. Oh, for a black instant, I considered nailing those pirate quarren to the rocks with my harpoon. But something stopped me from pulling the trigger. Perhaps it was the sparkle that caught my eye. The sparkle of a passing glumbrig eel. What would those pirates say to a whole school of glumbrig eels? A crackle and a sparkle as they be, thought I. So I opened my wee mouth and emitted the mating call of the eel.
You speak eel?
Aye, but I forgot to turn on me comm. We Scuba alone heard the cry. But that demented expression put such a fright on the quarren that it dropped the blasters. By the time they'd come to the senses, we were swimming away as fast as our flippers could carry us. It was only later, as we fled aboard the Zephyr's schooner, that I realized how close the real danger was. But I shall continue my tale next time. Where we in? Ah, yes. The monstrous Captain Wet, his crew and myself fled aboard the pirate schooner of the filthy Zephyrs. Well, fast as the morning thaw, I could tell something was off. Wanyik, he wouldn't look me in the eye. Oh, and a dreadful stench was a-brewing his rotten beard. An augur of fate most ill. Wanyik took the helm, and with landing claws away, we flew to deep space, putting a few lifetimes between us and those pirates. We found ourselves afield of the Parlymian trade route. As soon as the captain took his hand off the yoke, he put it on his harpoon and gave me a look like a half-starved tuka-cat iron sprat. Scorver, snarled the vile captain, you've gone as soft as an oyster's navel. If I can't trust you to spare a quarren with your blaster in your mouth, how can I trust you to skewer the great gooberfish? Aye, my hesitance to pull the trigger had me undone. In spite of my most rabid pleas, the captain jettisoned wee Scuba in an escape pod. The last thing I saw was his dread smile, crooked like a bayman's backbone. And so, my time aboard the grapnel met a briny end. Sitting alone in a pod, in deep space, with nothing but a tank of old cod and gash. I'll tell you more later, lad. The despair, the stench. It's enough to set my stomach a-churn to this very day.
I saw your wanted poster once, in an Imperial propaganda broadcast.
How did I look?
Pretty good.
Just pretty good?
You do not belong on Jeddah.
It's the ghost. Run for your lives!
Let's hang on to this.
Guard up.
Another scroll.
The Empire seems to be tightening its grip.
On Kobo, too. They're everywhere.
Careful, there's danger nearby. Please, if you value your lives.
I'm not the enemy.
Guard up.
Hey, look at this.
I wonder if one must possess the Force to enter these holy sites.
These sands hold the wisdom of all those who walked them centuries ago.
Remarkable. This was worth the journey, my friend.
Foes near.
What are you doing here?